Hello and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll design this login form, and in the login form we have a description and then we have two controls, the username and password. When you click on the username, you see the icon lightens up, and when you click on the password, the icon also lightens up. It has a sign in, and then it has social media sign in also with this look and feel. Now let's start that in here. We're going to start with the main container. And then we'll have a div where we'll put an image. You wouldn't see the image now until we put a size for the image. I'm just going to say size 96. And then you will see there is an image there. I'm not going to use this size 96. It's just for you to know that there is an image there. I'm going to make the image cover the screen with a minimum height screen. And then I'm going to also give a BG cover so that it covers it in a specific way. And then I'm going to make it a flex so that it justifies whatever content that is there in the middle. So I'll say justify center, you know the drill, and item center. So whatever I have in between here will be in the center. Then I'm going to create the cards that holds the login page. So that will be the login container card. I'm going to give it a width of 400 pixel, and at mid screen I will want the width to be 500 pixel, and I'll just make it a little smoother with a duration of 500, and then I'll give it a background white. You're not seeing anything now because there's nothing in the content, so let me just do a lorem 20 so that we have something there so you can see what we're doing. I'll give it a background white for now. I'm going to change that background later. So, and then I'll make it also a border white. The border white is to create a white shiny around the card. I'm going to change the background to a gradient background. So I'm going to use a BG gradient, which is gradient to top right. And then from white, I want it to start from white. And then to another white level, but this white level has 20% gradient. This is from white. And as you can see, this side is a little transparent while this side is more opaque. And then you can now see the border white showing there, giving the overall card some level of shininess. Let's put some more text in here so that it looks a little bigger. And then you can now see this place is a little transparent while this place is more opaque. Now let's add some roundness. We'll say rounded XL, and then give it a padding round of 7 for the card. And then I'm going to give it that glassy feel using backdrop. So I'll say backdrop blur SM. And this gives it that glassy feel. And also, if I drag out, you will see when it gets to the midpoint, it expands. That's what midpoint 500 does. And then when I return it back, it also goes back at the small breakpoint. If you look at the original design, it has some messages here, and then it has the form here. So inside here, I'm going to remove this now, and we're going to have a top message and the form container session. Now let's start with the top message. That will be a div. The word there is hello, as you can see here. Let's style that hello right now. It's going to be a flex column. Actually, this will be the container for the text message. The text message will be an H3 that has an hello, and then a P tag with this message. So let's continue with the parent container. So the parent container is a flex column, and I'm going to center it, item center, and I'm going to make it a gray 600 color so that all the item underneath it has that style. And then I'm going to space it out vertically with 3 spacing, and then margin bottom 7 so that it separates from the other content with it. So let's now also style this class. Is going to be a text 3XL and the font semi-bold. That's for the hello. And I'm just going to leave the P tag the way it is. Now let's move on to the form container. So the form container will have a class which is a flex container, and it's going to be flex column. Flex column because the items are all in a column. So the main container, which is the form, will be a flex col. And then I'm going to give it vertical margin of 5 and also a vertical spacing across the controls inside of 7. So now let's start putting in those controls. If you look at the original design, you will see that it has 2 controls there and then a button. So we're going to put in these 2 controls, and each of the control is going to be in a div. So I'll say the first control, let me say first and second control. So let's work on the first control, and that will be a div with a flex div, and I'm going to give it item center and make the border white. I'm going to make it rounded LG, and in between is going to be my inputs. Let me put a padding 1, and then I'll have an input, and then the input will have a placeholder for username. That's what this is going to be, is the username. So the placeholder is there, and then we'll begin to style it, and we'll start by making it full width. Give it a padding of 2 across, and then I'll give it a border of 0 to remove the border and outline. I'm going to remove this outline also, make it an outline of 0, so that when you click it, it's not going to give that blackish look. And then I'll say BG transparent, so that you wouldn't see it at all appearing. So the external border now looks like the form. And then we're going to create a focus, so that on focus, the placeholder will be transparent. The content of the placeholder will be transparent. So what this does is that when you put your mouse here, the username disappears. If you look at the original looks a little bit blurred out. So I'm going to put on the parent div a backdrop. So I'll say backdrop blur SM, and that will create this look. Now it looks a little more like the way this is. Now let's move to adding an icon. That is the username icon that we show at this place. Here is the icon. Now I'm going to style it. I'll give it a size of 10, and then text gray of 400. And I'm also going to make it that when you click on the input, the focus on the input will cause the icon to react. So what you do is that on the input, you say pair, and then on the SVG, I'll say pair focus text gray 600. This means the moment I focus on this input, then it should execute this text gray on the icon. And you can see that happening here. So I'm just going to give it a duration so that it actually happens within a time frame. So when I click it, you'll see it comes in darker. Now let's move on to the next control. The next control looks exactly like the first one. The only difference is that the icon changes and then is a password field. So I'm going to copy from the parent div and then just paste it here so that it looks the same. I'm just going to change some of the placeholder is going to be password, and then the text, this will not be text, the type will be password, and then the icon also will have the password icon. If you put your mouse on it, you see it all acts the same way. Lastly, we have the button, and of course that's going to be a button, and I'm going to style the button. I will say a BG blue 500, and on over is going to be BG blue 600, and vertical padding of 2, and I'm going to make it rounded LG. I'm going to center the text and make it a text white. Let me put the word first, sign in, so that you see it being done. Text white, and then I'll give it a font semi-bold. And you can already see that it's looking exactly like this that we have here. So next, we come out of the form and have the other sign-in options. And I'm going to put all the content in a div. And the div will have a flex column. and I'm going to center the items, and I'm going to give it a spacing, a vertical spacing of 5 for all the elements, and in between will be the icons and then the text message, this text message. So I'm going to give it F5, which says sign in with social media. Then I will have another parent div for all the icons. So that will be a flex, which I'm going to justify center. And then I'll also space it, this time X7. So it's going to be having an horizontal justification for all the icons. And the first icon is Facebook, and its styling will determine the styling for every other icons. So I'm just going to say it's going to be a link. Let's style out the link. The link will have a border and rounded LG. Let me make it border white, rounded LG, padding 3, and then on hover, the background will be gray 100. So let's put in the SVG here. And I've already given it a class of size 8. On mid-screen, the size increases to size 10, and then it's a gray 600 color. This is going to be the format for all of the social media icons. That is from here. I'm going to create for Google, for X, and also for LinkedIn. These are all the login types. And I'm just going to change the icons and the icons and the description. I'll pause and then come back when it's all changed. I have done all the changes, and you can see I just changed all the icons. They all have the same styling, like the Facebook styling, and this is how it reacts. And this is very similar to what you have here.